In July of 2015, a 2-year-old boy named DeOrr Kunz Jr. vanished from a remote campground in Idaho and hasn't been seen since. It was Thursday, July 9th, when DeOrr's parents, DeOrr Kunz Sr. and Jessica Mitchell, left their home in Idaho Falls for a camping trip. Joining them were Jessica's grandfather, Robert Bob Walton, and a man named Isaac Rainwand, a friend of Walton's the couple had only recently met. Their destination was Timber Creek Campground, nestled in the Salmon Chalice National Forest near the tiny town of DeOrr, Idaho. It's a remote area surrounded by dense trees, steep hillsides, and a cold, fast-moving creek. There's little cell service, few visitors, and plenty of places to get lost. The group set up camp Thursday evening and stayed overnight. The next morning, Friday, July 10th, would become the center of one of the most baffling missing child cases in recent memory. According to the parents, after breakfast, they took a short walk to scout out a better fishing spot down the road. They said they left DeOrr with his great-grandfather, Bob Walton, while Isaac Rainwand was nearby fishing. They claimed they were gone just a few minutes, but when they returned, DeOrr was gone. Bob Walton later told authorities he didn't realize he had been asked to watch the child. He believed DeOrr had gone with his parents. Isaac Rainwand said he never saw the boy that morning at all. It was just after 2:30 p.m. when Jessica called 911. Her voice sounded calm, almost oddly so, as she reported her son missing. Searchers arrived quickly and began scouring the area. DeOrr was last seen wearing a camouflage jacket, blue pajama pants, and cowboy boots. But at the campsite, his blanket, a sippy cup, and a favorite stuffed monkey were left behind, items he was rarely seen without. The Lemhi County Sheriff's Office launched a massive search. Over the coming days, they were joined by search and rescue teams, helicopters, ATVs, cadaver dogs, and dive teams. They covered miles of mountainous terrain, searched the creek, and brought in specialized equipment. But there was no sign of DeOrr, not a footprint, not a shred of clothing, no blood, no remains, nothing. Eventually, investigators began to shift focus. The family's statements didn't align. There were contradictions about who last saw DeOrr, how long the parents had been gone, and what exactly happened in those crucial minutes. At one point, the parents said they had gone to a nearby convenience store in Leodore, but investigators had trouble verifying that timeline. A clerk at the store gave conflicting recollections about whether the couple had even come in that day. Meanwhile, Bob Walton initially said he hadn't seen DeOrr that morning, then later said he might have. Isaac Rainwand told police he didn't see DeOrr at all during the trip, despite being just a short distance away fishing. Jessica and Vernal each took multiple polygraph tests administered by the FBI. According to law enforcement and private investigators, both failed. Those results were not officially released, but cited in statements by Lemhi County Sheriff Lynn Bowerman. Months after the disappearance, investigators obtained a warrant to search the parents' apartment in Idaho Falls. There, they reportedly discovered the camouflage jacket DeOrr had been wearing when he disappeared, or at least one that looked just like it. That finding directly contradicted the parents' original statements and raised serious doubts about whether DeOrr had ever made it to the campsite at all. The search area around Timber Creek was examined again. This time, cadaver dogs were brought in. Some handlers reported that the dogs alerted near the creek bed, but no human remains were ever found. Over time, multiple private investigators became involved in the case. Frank Vilt, a retired U.S. Marshal, initially believed DeOrr had been abducted, but after working the case, he changed his mind. He withdrew from the investigation and said he no longer trusted the parents' account. Another private investigator, Philip Klein, conducted a deep review of the case. He claimed that after extensive interviews and lie detector testing, he believed DeOrr died before the camping trip and that the disappearance was staged. Klein pointed to inconsistencies in the parents' stories and the sudden appearance of the camouflage jacket as red flags. Klein was later fired by the family. A third investigator, David Marshburn, currently working with the Kunz family, has taken a different approach. He believes the parents are innocent and has suggested that Isaac Rainwand may have had a role in DeOrr's disappearance. Law enforcement, however, has never confirmed this theory. In January 2016, 6 months after DeOrr vanished, the Lemhi County Sheriff officially named Jessica Mitchell and Vernal Kunz as suspects. They were never charged, but their status has never been cleared. All 4 adults at the campsite, Jessica, Vernal, Bob Walton, and Isaac Rainwand, have at one point been considered persons of interest, and all 4 have given statements that don't fully align with one another. DeOrr's physical condition at the time is also relevant. He was 2 years old, small for his age, and had bowed legs that made it hard for him to walk far or fast. By most accounts, he wasn't likely to have wandered off deep into the woods alone. And yet, despite hundreds of volunteers, thousands of man-hours, aerial searches, dive operations, and multiple search dogs, there is no trace of what happened to him. In 2017, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released an age-progressed image showing what DeOrr might look like at age 5. It was widely distributed online, but no credible sightings have ever surfaced. As of today, more than a decade since that day in the forest, DeOrr Kunz Jr. remains missing. There have been no arrests, no charges, no definitive answers. Only questions, and the lingering mystery of how a little boy could disappear without a sound in broad daylight, surrounded by adults who all claim they don't know what happened.